Good morning, Amani. This is Marcy Mitchell, and it is my honor today to lead you through our 10:10 pre-service meditation. So please take a moment to get comfortable in your seat or lying down and cross your legs, sit up straight. If you're lying down, stretch your limbs out and straighten your spine. Allow your eyes to close if that feels comfortable. Rest your feet flat on the floor if you're sitting up, and you may allow your hands to rest in your lap, either palms facing up to feel open and allowing, or facing down to feel more grounded. You can also face one palm up and one palm down. And now we receive a breath in, taking that cleansing clean air deep into your belly and throughout your body. Deeper and deeper, truly a deep receiving of the air, then pausing at the top before fully exhaling, allowing all of that air to purposefully relieve and release from your body. Let's do this 3 times to become fully present in this moment. At your own pace, receiving that deep cleansing breath and releasing it. As we take this moment for ourselves, as we become fully present, as we focus on our breath, we give ourselves the gift of time, the gift of connection, and the gift of just being. So as you settle into this space, breathing in, breathing out, take a moment to scan your body, your physical being, and notice anything that's noticeable. What do you feel? Is there any tightness? Is there a feeling of lightness? Is there pain? Is there any other sensations that you notice? We don't necessarily need to judge them or try to change them. We just take this moment of awareness and checking in with our body temples. And as you scan through and notice and become aware of the body, now take a moment to do an emotional scan. Check in with your emotions in this moment. How are you feeling? Again, we're not here to judge it, just to see it, to witness it, to become aware. We know that there are often messages that are coming to us through our body, through our emotions, but we're often too busy to pay attention. So now is your time to listen to what your body and your emotions are saying to you. Receive the wisdom. Hear, acknowledge. And now bring yourself to a place of calm and peace. Visualize this in your mind's eye. It can be a place in nature, the side of the ocean, on the shore, waves crashing, sand between your toes. It can be a wide meadow with grass and wildflowers gently swaying in the breeze. You may be under a large oak tree, or perhaps you climbed up in it. Perhaps you're in your own backyard in a comfortable chair, just being. Or perhaps you are in your home, in a meditation space, in a comfy couch, any place that feels calming and peaceful to you. Now allow your senses to fully immerse themselves in this place, seeing all the details, the colors, what's around you. smelling the smells and feeling the sensations, like the sand in your toes or the grass under bare feet, perhaps the rough bark of the tree, the soft cushion of your couch. Whatever the sensation is, notice it, feel it, immerse yourself in it, and in this place where you go mentally right now. Now allow yourself to just be. If any thoughts or to-do lists or ideas try to pop into your head, that's okay. Just release them, set them down. Don't judge yourself. Our minds are meant to be busy, and they are very good at thinking. But right now, we're just being. And so as those thoughts creep in, just release them. Lay them down, knowing that you can choose to pick them up later. And just be in your space. Allow the openness in your mind. Allow space for spirit. Allow calm and rest. Enjoy your meditation. And now, staying in this calm state of being, let us turn to treatment before we come out of our meditation. Knowing that there is one presence, one source, one energy that flows in, as and through each and every one of us, guiding us, lifting us, holding us, supporting us, and bringing us each and everything we need to live our highest purpose, just when we need it. We have only to turn to this source, to spirit, to God, to the universe, to nature, to love, whatever you call it. We turn to it and find that it has been here all along, just waiting to give us our heart's desire. And so we can joyfully receive that, saying yes and receiving in great gratitude. It is God or Spirit's purpose to give us all that we need, all that we desire, so that we can fulfill our purpose on the planet. We are the hands and feet of Spirit, and we are here to live our purpose and to connect and to bring our light and our love to the planet. So I know that today and every day we do this so perfectly. We look deep into the eyes of others and we see the divinity in them, and we share the divinity in us, and we lift the energy and vibration of the planet. I'm so grateful for this truth. I am grateful for the Amani Center that gives us these teachings and gives us a place to come together in community to practice it. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who tune in and who are here with me now and with me always in spirit. I release my word into the law. I know that just as I speak it, it unfolds, it manifests. It can only do so. And so I let it be, and together we say, and so it is.
Something
Good morning, Amani. Thank you for being here this morning. I have the great pleasure of introducing our guest musician today, the wonderful, the one and only Gary Lynn Floyd.
Good morning, Amani Center. Gary Lynn Floyd here. So glad to be back with you this morning. I'm going to sing an oldie but a goodie that I wrote with Robin Hackett a while back. You might know it. If you do, sing along. If you don't, it's easy to catch on to. It goes like this. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Sing it with me. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. It's going to be fun.
So now what we would like to do is take a moment and read our vision statement together. So we'll bring that up on the screen. And if you would speak it aloud with me. We are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And so that is our vision statement here at the Amani Center. That is what we are focused on. That is how we show up in the world. And it's very important to us, and we are living that purpose. And we have a lot of ways that we do that. We have our Sunday experience every Sunday here live on Facebook and YouTube and in our space. And we have classes, we have workshops, we have events, and we have practitioners and ministers who make up what we call our circle of light. And what we love to do is come together and pray for you, to do treatment for you, spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, help you to remember the truth about who you are and what is unfolding in your life. So if there is something that you are going through now, something that's challenging, something that is stretching you, growing you, something that you want to manifest and bring into your life, reach out to our Circle of Light. You can send us a email at admin@theamanicenter.org. You can call us 530-677-2300. If you're here in the space, we always have practitioners and ministers available after service to treat with you.
reach out. Let us do this for you. It is our gift to you, and it is important to us, and it is our honor to do it. So now let's take a few moments and go through our announcements. I'm going to bring up some slides on the screen so you can see what's going on at the Amani Center right now. And so we begin with our schedule for the month of April. This is the last Sunday in April, and as I said, we have the wonderful Yuli Rodriguez who is speaking to us virtually today, and I'm so excited to have Gary Lynn Floyd, an amazing songwriter, musician, and just consciousness in the New Thought community. He has been here at the center before, so he is bringing his beautiful music today. And we have a great workshop today as well. So this will be here at the center on our patio, but we will also be providing this via Zoom if that works out better for you. It is not too late to sign up for this. It begins after service today. So there's a link that should be dropping right now. You can sign up if you haven't already and join us for Taming Your Inner Critic with Mitch Austin. This will be a fabulous time out on the Amani patio. And we have new classes beginning. Spiritual Economics is an accredited Year 2 class. It is open to everyone, and it begins April 26th, and it's being taught by our wonderful ministerial intern, practitioner, and Amani board president, Angie Gann. So there is a link that should be dropping for that as well. Sign up and take this class, which again begins on April 26th and goes for 6 weeks. And then we also have a Wednesday night class or workshop that's going to be beginning on April 28th. That is Soul Quest with Allison Tomei. This involves art and music and visioning. You will create a painting that you will take home with you. It will change over the 6 weeks. And I got to tell you, this is a fun class, and you can do some really great work. Adventures in Art with Soul Quest and Allison Tomei. And we have the wonderful Bob Sima and Shannon Plumer who are doing a workshop with us as well. That is May 7th. It'll be a Friday night at 6 o'clock. And if you didn't see them when they were with us last week, they were just wonderful. Beautiful music, visioning, and a powerful message. So join us for the Medicine Wheel Workshop. And we have another class beginning in May with our wonderful Reverend Pixie DeFore. That begins on May 13th. It is The Power of Now, based on Eckhart Tolle's really amazing book, The Power of Now. This is a great transformational class. This is a Year 1 class. It is open to everyone, and it will be on Thursday nights at 6:30 via Zoom. So you can sign up for that. A link should be dropped for that right now as well. And so that's it for our announcements. And so we will take a moment now to bless the service. So wherever you are, remove anything out of your lap, put your feet flat on the floor, become present and grounded in this moment. Allow your eyes to close as you receive a breath in. Just being. We know that there is only one power, one presence, one divine energy that runs in, as, and through everything. It is the energy and the divine thought that is living you right now. It created you, and it guides you, it leads you, it supports you. Everything you need is here for you, a gift from the divine. And so we just turn to this divine wisdom and say yes. We say yes to the guidance, yes to the support, yes to whatever experience is unfolding for us right now. We know it comes to us for our highest and greatest good. And so we say yes. Releasing resistance, setting aside the idea of what we think things should look like. We just know that they are unfolding divinely now. And I know this is true for each and every one of you. I know this is true for the Amani Center, this place that we come together in community, that we hear the message, that we hear the music, we hear the speakers, we connect with each other. We pray and treat and sing, and we learn, and we live our life just how it's meant to be lived. It unfolds, and we are open. So I know that today's service is part of this divine unfoldment. And I know that everybody who is meant to be here is here. Everyone who is meant to hear this message tunes in with receptivity and openness and hears exactly what they need to hear right now. And I am so grateful for this truth, and I am so grateful for the center, and I am grateful for every volunteer, every speaker, our amazing house band Ascension, and the talented musicians and singers who make that team, for our sound team, for our energy workers, for the people who set the chairs and put out the pillows on the patio, for the team that comes in to clean each week, for our landlord who brought this great space to us, and everyone else who's doing their part to make Amani what it is. I am so, so grateful. And I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it can only say yes. It can only unfold. It can only be just how it's meant to be. And so I release it, I allow it, I say yes, and I know that it is so. And together we say, and so it is. All right, and now I'm going to hand the microphone over to our practitioner of the day, Angie Gann, for our affirmation.
Good morning. Today's affirmation is coming to us from Yuli Rodriguez. And we will go through the affirmation 3 times. The first time with energy and enthusiasm. The second time, we'll bring it down into our hearts in a whisper. And the third time, if you'll just join me mentally, that would be great. Let us begin. Choose now to thrive, feeling the earth supporting me beneath my feet. I turn within and soar. Choose now to thrive, feeling the earth supporting me beneath my feet. I turn within and soar. Choose now to thrive, feeling the earth supporting me beneath my feet. I turn within and soar. And so it is.
Thank you, Angie. And now back to Gary Lynn Floyd for our meditation music.
I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering in love. Dropping, 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 dropping down. I am dropping down to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down, surrendering to the truth of who I am, to the truth of who I am. I am dropping down.
And now I'll do the meditation. If you would just like to take a moment to simply close your eyes, getting settled and present in your chair, knowing that the chair is there to support you fully, relaxing your body into it. As we come together in the one mind and the one heart and the one soul, we bring our attention and intention together for this meditation as we go within and connect with our higher self today. And from that connection, we connect with the one God. And I ask you today, do you have a living, breathing, intimate relationship with the God self within? Do you connect to your abilities and your talents and your abilities that God created within you uniquely, that no one else can bring to the world in the way that you can? You are as unique as a snowflake. There are no two that are alike. There are no two people that are alike. And so we come together in that space and we celebrate the uniqueness in one another as we see that in each other's eyes as we look to each other. And so we take that in with us for a few moments of meditation as you contemplate your uniqueness and your purpose here in life today. And so we come back together in present moment awareness, feeling our hearts expanding into the feeling of gratitude, knowing that when we are in gratitude, we are in grace, we are in flow with life, and we take that flow and we take that grace into the healing treatment for today, and we bring to mind any person, any situation, any scenario that you may need healing and grace for at this moment, at this time. And you contemplate it in your mind and you contemplate it in your heart. And you see the grace of Jesus Christ himself, who was the mighty healer. And he healed all, any who approached him, and his healing was such that just to touch his robe was enough to heal. And he said to us in his word, not to be amazed at his works, that these things and more so shall you do if you just believe. And so we take that level of belief and that level of knowing and that level of certainty. He knew and accepted his divinity as a child of God, and he said that we are all children, brothers and sisters of God. And so we know that we too carry the divinity that he carried within himself to the same measure. He was not an exception, but a way shower. And so we accept that healing now, and we know that at any moment we need it, we can access it because it lives and breathes us. It is us. It is as us. And we are so grateful to know this truth. And we are so grateful to accept this healing prayer right now, right here. And I release my word into the physical world to be made manifest as together we say, and so it is.
And now again, the wonderful Gary Lynn Floyd.
Everything beneath the sun breathes like a harmonium. Pure perfection has begun, shining like a midnight sun. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone. Let me be an instrument, guided by an heaven sent. May these grapes of pain ferment, alchemize to love's content. Ever be a sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Rolling like a thundercloud, let me live my love out loud, standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now, God is in all I have found. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Spinning like a prayer fields, turning like Ezekiel's wheels. Nothing like a kiss seals this spirit I've become. Knowing what I'm here for, rowing on to distant shores, flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Oh, spinning like a prayer fields, turning like Ezekiel's wheels. Nothing like a kiss seals this spirit I've become, knowing what I'm here for, rowing on to distant shores, flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Out of darkness I have come, I see God in everyone.
Thank you, Gary. Such a joy to have you here with us today. And now it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce today's speaker, an amazing speaker, professor at our local college, Folsom Lake College, an awesome human being and a dear friend of mine, the wonderful Yuli Rodriguez.
Good morning, Amani. So happy to be here. Wish I was there in person. I'm so happy that the center is opening up and we're able to be in the space. Can't wait to get back up to Folsom and join everyone physically, safe distance, So I'm looking forward to coming back. So happy that we're able to do this. All right, so today is our last talk on the elements, where we talk about the earth. And so I will wrap this up at the end and bring in the earth. But about a couple months ago, I called up Marcy and I said, hey, when can I do a new talk? Because I haven't done one in a while. And I was preparing my content for the learning chapter. As many of you know, I'm a professor of psychology at Folsom Lake College. And I was preparing my lecture on the learning chapter. And a lot of people think, when they think of learning, they think of learning as, learning how to study and learning stuff in school like your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. But when we look at learning as a dynamic, it's what we do to help us survive in the world. It's repeated ways of thinking, being, and behaving that we have accumulated through experience. And that's basically the definition of learning. And some of it is content in school, like our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And some of it is what we do in our daily lives to promote our survival. Our brain is wired for survival. It all starts with the biology of this human body that we inhabit. So from that space, let's talk about what learning to survive looks like. Because we're going to talk about what learning to survive looks like. We're going to talk about what a person who thrives look like, and then what does it take to get there, and how does this all have to do with our Earth Mother. All right, so that's kind of the setup for the talk today. Okay, so what does it mean to learn? And so we learn, and it's easy. For example, it's easy. So our reflexes, we don't have to learn those. We don't have to learn to sneeze when there's pepper under our nose. We don't have to learn to yawn or swallow or, those are things that come naturally to us. And so we start with reflexes, and those help us live, so we have an intuition for finding food and seeking safety. And those are survival mechanisms or techniques, right? So those are easy. And so it's easy, for example, and to add other things to the list. So our brain is wired to not just work off of reflex. We're also wired to acquire new ones. And if we have enough of an experience, it can turn into a phobia or a root of anxiety. So, for example, I was born in Venezuela, and our house was just right, like the Amazon rainforest is not that far. And so we would, of course, have some animals that would wander into town, snakes and such. And so some of the snakes in the Amazon rainforest are poisonous and some are not. I couldn't get close enough. By the time I got close enough to a snake, I would either be dead or it wouldn't do anything to me. So I learned really quickly that things without legs can be scary, and that I can't tell the difference because I can't see that well. And so I developed a snake phobia. When your backyard is moving, things in your backyard are moving, you don't want to go in your backyard. And, and at school, like the locals knew, well, that one's okay, leave it alone. But again, I couldn't see well enough. So as a child, I developed a fear of snakes. And then I moved to Folsom, so there's that. so Folsom known for rattlesnakes. Either way, moving on. Moving on. So we can add that. So we can have phobias. And you can see that a lot of the most commonly held phobias are things that have to do with things that are a risk to our safety. For example, fear of water, fear of heights, fear of closed spaces, fear of spiders. All those things are naturally developed because all those things can be a harm to our survival, and so it is natural to acquire those. So those things have to do with behavior, but I want to talk a little bit about emotions and thoughts. We also learn how to carry ourselves and how to be in the world by the way that we're treated. Carl Rogers was a famous psychology person, pioneer, and he was part of the humanistic movement in the 1960s and was one of the first to call people who come to therapy clients and not patients. And excuse me, he tapped into this notion of what we all seek, and what would make us stronger is if we received unconditional positive regard, which in many ways sounds like unconditional love, right? And so if we got unconditional love or unconditional positive regard, we would thrive, but we don't. Most of us receive what Rogers called conditions of worth. And those oftentimes came in words or actions from the adults that we most commonly interacted with, whether it's our parents or caregivers, older siblings. We would hear sometimes things like, children are meant to be seen and not heard. God, you're so sensitive. Want me to give you a reason to cry about? 96% of us come from dysfunctional families. So 96% of families are dysfunctional. And sometimes when I'm feeling particularly negative, I think the other 4% of people are lying. So that's just a little dark humor there. Sorry about that. But either way, we all come from some kind of space where we heard these ideas. It's like these conditions of worth. Like, I wish you were more like your sister, or God, you're so emotional. You're too this, or you're not enough that. Like, God, I wish you were, better athlete, and you're kind of awkward, and God, what's wrong with you? And sometimes they come directly, and sometimes they come indirectly. Like, maybe your sibling or some other person who is, quote, better at something gets more rewards, and you don't get the kind of hits for your, you don't get the uplifts for what you're good at, because maybe your family doesn't value artists, or athletes, or musicians, or people who are good at science, whatever it could be. If it's not valued, then you get what we call a condition of worth. Like, if you were more like this, we would love you more. We would fawn on you more. We would give you more positive reinforcement. We would be kinder to you. We would appreciate you more. But you're not. And so we're not going to give you the love and the strokes you need. And it's not often conscious. It's just what we all do. And so either, and then we get the message that we're either too much of something or not enough of something. You're too emotional, you're too reactive, or you're not tall enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not educated enough. And so we get these messages, and we also get them from media around us too. So it's not just coming from our parents, it's coming from our media, it's coming from the shows we watch, and the news that we hear, and all these things. It kind of can be bombarding and overwhelming, right? And so we get these messages, and oftentimes we acquire these messages before the age of 7, because before the age of 7, we really can't sit there. Can you imagine a 5-year-old going, Mom, Dad, you tell me that I should be more like my sister, but you know what? I don't think she's all that, and I'm an artist, and I'm this, and I'm worthy, and I'm not going to believe all that stuff you say about how I should be more like my sister, because that's a bunch of BS, because I'm worthy just the way I am. We don't say that at 5 years old. Can you imagine if we did? But we don't. So when people say things to us that aren't positive about us, we don't blame that person. We blame ourselves. We believe them, right? We don't question it. We believe it. And so we take it in. And so what does that do to us? It shuts us down. It makes us lose our voice. It makes us not value our traits. It makes us go small. It has us questioning our worth, not speaking up. So we lose our voice, we lose our self-love and self-respect, we lose that inner connection. And again, we get small. We question ourselves. We don't value who we are, because we're all different for a reason. Okay, we're all different for a reason. We're all good at something different. We all are here to deliver a different piece of the eternal puzzle, right? So there's no better, there's no worse. We're all just different. And that's great. Imagine if all the pieces in a puzzle look the same. We'd never be able to put it together. Okay? So, having that understanding that we learn these negative ways of being, seeing, and experiencing ourselves. And that's why, again, going back to Mitch and the inner critic, we learn these ways of being and they become part of us. And we don't even question it until we get older sometimes. And maybe we never question it at all. So what does a person who doesn't believe those things about themselves look like? Right? So what is a person who thrives? I want to use the word thriver. I didn't look it up before to see if it was actually a word. So I'm not going to use it too much because I don't know if it's actually a word. But a person who thrives. Okay, so what does that person look like? And that person, to me, now this is my own definition that I've come up with over time here, is this idea of coming from a place of strength and love within yourself. Coming from a place of compassion and empathy. Some of the most empathetic people I know are some of the people who have been to very dark places in their lives, who have suffered a lot of pain. Compassion comes from empathy and pain. And so we are kind of forged in the fire of pain. And I think we're going to do fire as an element at some point. So that's a talk for another day. So there is this confidence that is beautiful strength. It is compassionate. It is empathetic. It wants greatness for everyone else. It rejoices at the successes of others, because if that happens for them, it can happen for me. We're happy for other people. We are loving and caring from a heartfelt place. We live from our heart. And so when we look at the brain, so I want to just talk a little bit about the brain. So there's 100 billion neurons in the brain, right? And as we evolve and grow in our lives, our body never forgets anything. So that's the thing. Our bodies never forget anything. We may consciously forget something. We can remember music lyrics from the 80s, but we don't remember why we went to the fridge. It's a whole other thing. But our body doesn't forget anything. And there's plenty of places where memories can get stored. And so we have a heart brain. So we have we have brain cells in our heart. Our heart is the first organ that is developed in the fetus, the first functioning organ, because it has to pump nutrients throughout the body. So the heart and it has a little bit of a brain in it, but we have a lot of brain cells in our gut. And that's why when you say you feel something in your gut and you don't know why you feel that, trust that. Okay? So we trust ourselves. People who are working towards thriving, and you never arrive, by the way. You never completely get there. There's always some other piece that we are wanting to have it be different. Another experience that we want to see change. Another place where we want to clean up. So a person who thrives is a person who is wanting to grow, who is seeking to learn and be differently in the world, looking to respect and work with others. A person who is thriving also takes risks. And when I mean risks, I don't mean things like bungee jumping. I mean, that could be one of the things that you do. But for me, a risk taker is someone who says, I'm an introvert, I'm kind of shy, but that person looks not so happy over there. Maybe I'll go over there and say hi. So taking risks in reaching out to people, taking risks in ways that may not have been comfortable for you. Maybe you go to school and learn a new trade or some other job, or you maybe start a new recipe or try to figure out a new recipe. Maybe you've always liked sushi and you maybe figure you want to learn how to do sushi, make sushi. So whatever it is, being adventurous, being a bit of a risk taker, wanting to find and experience new things, being open to others' viewpoints, being open to learning new ideas and ways of thinking and other philosophies. These are things that people who thrive we get curious, right? We get real curious and interested in the experiences of others. And as we learn about others and we learn new things, we become very open and tolerant and caring. We're also conscientious and respectful. We take care of ourselves. We take care of other people. We respect other people's time. So generally, the way that I think of a person who thrives is they come from a place of heart and soul. They come from a place of kind of like, what would a good person do? What is they come from a place of having healed the wounds, so they're not reactive. They're not wanting to take other people down. They don't feel the need to criticize others. They don't need to get tense or reactive. And we all have those moments when we still get reactive, of course, for sure. But it doesn't mean that we act from those. Or if we do, we're quick to apologize. It's like, wow, you know what? I'm so sorry I did that. I'm so sorry I said that. That was not okay. And so we hold boundaries. Some of the most compassionate people I know have some of the strongest boundaries. And so we are authentic, and we are constantly wanting to be better people. And we understand and have this compassion, this curiosity, this love and zest for life. And so again, nobody ever really arrives. Nobody ever really gets here. And so it's this understanding that it is a continual evolution, a continual process. And so how do we get there? That's why I chose the word soar, S-O-A-R, not S-O-R-E, S-O-A-R. So that means that we fly, we take off, we are just, moving in this positive direction, right? So we are moving forward. So we soar, we fly. And so I'm using the acronyms kind of like, Mitch has done this, and other of our speakers have chosen letters to symbolize a process. And so how do we get to thriving? How do we have to be different? What do we have to not necessarily change, but what are some of the things that we need to let go of? And what are some of the things that we need to, I don't like using the words have and need, and should is another one. I don't like shoulding all over the place. So let's not should all over the place. But some of the ways in which, and some of the tools that we need to acquire, and some of the things that we could let go of that will help us soar, to lighten the load, so to speak, the first one starts with an S. And so S stands for soul. I'm sure you hopefully saw that one coming. We need to listen to our soul. We need to let go of those critics that are in our heads, that are not good for us, that are not telling us what is true about us. Because here's the thing, our soul will never lie to us. Our soul will never be mean to us. Our soul can be honest. There's no need to be mean and be honest. Your soul could tell you, hey, you know what? Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Your soul will never be cruel. If we listen to our instinct or our gut, I don't know where the soul lives, but our gut, our intuition is our soul. And our soul, I believe that our soul we've had several lifetimes. And so we bring that wisdom with us when our soul shows up in this body. But we don't remember, right? But we bring the wisdom, because the facts don't matter. The events aren't important. The learnings are what's important. The evolution of our soul is what's important. And so we need to, let's see, I used the word need, and I said I wasn't. So cross that out. It would serve us if we were to let go of the human dynamic voices and turn up the volume to our soul's wisdom. Our soul knows what's good for us. Our soul knows what we need, what we want to do. When we second guess our gut is when we go wrong. So the way that we get in touch with our soul, the way that we let go of some of the stuff that we learned here on earth about our supposed worth, is by loving ourselves, because our soul loves us. And so the more we love ourselves, the more we open up to that love within us. And what psychology also says is part of finding that one relationship, being in a strong intimate relationship. Some of the reasons why we get involved with the people that we get involved with that are toxic potentially for us is that they speak to us in the same way that others have spoken to us, so it feels familiar. Familiar isn't necessarily good for some of us, right? So when we speak to ourselves from a place of love, when we say things to ourselves, like mirror work is great, getting in front of the mirror and going, you know what, you're pretty awesome. You got this. And it might feel silly, but I do some of that. I do get in front of the mirror and it's like, I got this. I can do this. Or even I say this to myself, like I can do this. I get, so now like when things are happening that are not so great, and I know that things are coming in a certain day, like I get to do this. I get to practice, holding my boundaries. I get to practice having a voice today, but that's come through some work, right? So being loving towards myself, accepting myself, not beating myself up for stuff I did before I knew better. So being nurturing and caring for myself, being loving to myself, speaking positively to myself. And the more I do that, the more my soul comes out, because those other critics really don't have anything to say. I don't listen to them anymore. I don't listen. It's like, you know what? Thanks for sharing. Moving on. So what does my soul have to say? And I listen to that because my soul has my best interest at heart. And it's a loving voice. It's a still small voice that has wisdom and knows you better than you know yourself, has your best interest at heart. So self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, self-love, positive self-talk, all these things are powerful, and you are worthy for sure, 100%. Okay? So the O stands for me for the oneness. If we understand that when we heal, we're not just healing ourselves, that self-love is not selfish. Self-love, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness allows us to become better stewards of the energy in the world, better spouses, better parents, better friends, better co-workers, because we are in this place of positivity and stability and balance and harmony and health, and we bring that to every situation we are in. And if we understand that we don't just heal ourselves when we heal ourselves, that we heal others, because we are all connected. Think of all of humanity and all of the beings on planet Earth being connected, that everyone is a cell in one body. If we are all a cell in one body, then if we are a healthy, beautiful, thriving, soaring cell, then the cells around us can't help but be the same, can't help but respond in a positive, beautiful way. You may be such a light bearer, like a bringer of light. You may just feel so great that as you walk by someone, they may feel better and not really know why. And that's great. That doesn't matter if they know why, as long as people are doing better and feeling better. Neil Donald Walsh said that when we are in the room, we're here to heal the room. And so we come and we heal the room. And we can have a positive effect or a negative effect. I choose to want to have a positive effect, because when I am aware of, the more I become aware of and embrace and understand that my self-growth doesn't just affect me, but it affects people around me, then I'm responsible for that growth. I am needing to do that growth, not just for me, but for those around me and the world that I live in. Okay, so oneness. It's all connected, right? The A, I toyed around with different words for the A, and I had an experience earlier this week that led me to use the word accept. And people are going to say, oh, I know what she's going to say, accept all the things you can't change. And as true as that is, the way I want to use the word accept is I want you to accept all the good that comes to you. We are not here to do everything. I mean, yeah, you could learn to be an accountant, and you could learn to be a plumber, and you can learn to be, anything, if you want to. but we're all here to do different things. Not everybody is going to be good at everything. And if you are, then I don't know. I don't know what to say. You're just particularly brilliant, and that's great. However, we are here to help each other. It takes a village, not just to raise a child, but to live a life. So accept the good. Accept when someone gives you a compliment, don't say, oh, this old thing? No, thank you. Accept the compliment. Accept the help. Ultra independence is a trauma response. Wanting to do it all yourself is a trauma response, because at some point you'll learn that others can't be trusted. Okay? But at some point you have to trust. At some point you have to trust your judgment, you have to trust yourself, and you have to put some trust in others. And if that trust is broken, that's not about you, that's about them. Okay? So accept the help, accept the support. What happened earlier this week, I'm staying with some friends in the East Bay, in the Bay Area, and something happened, and I was starting to pack up, and I was going to head back to Folsom, because what happened was difficult, and I thought, I'm not going to expose my beautiful, wonderful friends to the toxicity in my life. I'm not wanting to bring that grossness, that toxicity, that kind of dark stuff into their home. I didn't want to do that. And so I was just going to leave. And so my friend comes into the room and she's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm leaving. I can't bring all this craziness into your home. I don't want to do that to you. That's not right. And she's like, well, don't you think we should be the judges of that? Don't you think that, we're totally okay with everything? We know what you're going through, and let us be here for you. Let us all be here for each other, because they're moving, and so they're going through some things, and I'm here to help them, and they're helping me too. And she's like, we're friends, we help each other, so accept it. And I started crying, because I'm used to giving help, but I'm not so much used to receiving it. And I will tell you this, I'm not speaking for everyone with a disability, but I sometimes feel, and this is something I'm working through, even though I've cleaned up a lot of my stuff, my inner critics. One of the things I still am struggling with is this idea of being broken a little bit. It's getting way more cleaned up, but this idea of being dependent because I can't drive, because I don't see as well as everybody else, and so I just wanted to take care of it myself. I didn't want to burden them with the stuff going on in my life. And they're like, you need to let us, as much as you've been here for us and we've been here for you, you can't just leave just because things are rough. You need to give us the opportunity to decide for ourselves what we want and don't want. And we would tell you if it was hard. We would tell you if we wanted you to, we didn't want that stuff, that negative stuff. I have a very toxic brother, and he lives near here, and so there have been some negative things go on with that, and it's been very difficult and challenging for me. And so it brings up family stuff, and so I accepted their love, their support. I am accepting that, and I am receiving it, and I'm so happy, because when people give you something, when they are offering a compliment or assistance, or a kind word or meal, whatever it is, they get something. We get something when we give as much as we get when we receive. So accept the gifts, accept the good, and truly accept it, like deeply accept it, like hardcore accept it. I am so grateful, because when we accept these beautiful gifts, whether they're kind words or a meal or a whatever it is, we go into gratitude. We accept it, we love it, we cherish it, and we go into gratitude. And when you go into gratitude, gratitude is magnetic. Whatever we are grateful for, we get more of. So if I am grateful for these beautiful friends that I have, then I will attract more of that love in my life. I will be that love for others as well, as I see them as examples of these beautiful, heart-filled people. Then I am more likely to be that way because I see how beautiful it feels for me to receive it, that I want other people to feel that way as well. And so this is why I think it's so important for us to accept what is going on in our lives and what is happening in our environment that is positive, to accept it, relish it, and love it, and have more of that show up. And so being in gratitude for what we accept, the positive, the beautiful, the gifts, the compliments, the heartfelt love that comes from people around us, accepting that. And adding on to that, the R I struggled with as well. But I want to share with you a study. So the R stands for relating or relationships. Okay. So there was an interesting study that's still going on right now. It's a longitudinal study. So it's been going on. God, these men are 80 years old. And I think they started the study when they were in their late teens, early 20s. And so they've been following these men into their 80s now. And so they wanted to, so, and whenever they interview them, I think every 10 years. And whenever they show up to interview them, they do all of it. They do like health exams and they look at their jobs and careers and interests. They check intelligence. They check everything that you could possibly test for. They look at their relationship qualities, all their health parameters, everything. They look at everything, quality of life, everything. And so what they did when these men got into their 80s is they said, okay, let's look back. So let's look back. Some of these men are healthy and vibrant and strong, and some of them aren't. So what's the difference? So what they did is they went back to data that they collected from these men when they were in their 50s. And they went and they looked what were common, what were some of the common traits, abilities, lifestyles, whatever it is. What were some of the positive things going on in their lives for men who were healthy, and what were some of the negative things going on in their lives for the men who weren't healthy. And there was one thing, and only one thing, that was a predictor of health in your 80s, and that is quality of the relationships you have in your 50s. That's it. So you could have been a smoker in your 50s, or heavy drinker, or you could have had diabetes, or some other health problem. And this is subjective. So this is my definition. Do I think I have a healthy relationship, right? So it's a subjective definition. People who said they had healthy relationships in their 50s, regardless of lifestyle, prescriptions, health parameters, whatever, were healthy and vibrant in their 80s. People who, even if they were healthy and didn't have any medications, didn't have any health issues, if their relationships were difficult or strained or challenging in their 50s, poor health outcomes in their 80s. Healthy relationships are the key predictor of long life. And if you think about it, if my relationships all suck in my 50s, do I want to live into my 80s? Sorry for that swear word. I didn't mean to do that, but there it is. So kind of taking that into account. So we have a soul, kind of in summary, we have a soul, and the soul is beautiful and will always tell you truth, always wants what is best for you. And if we're all soul, which we are, we're all connected. We're all part of the energetic field. Since we believe that everything is energy, and these skin suits that we're in, these earth suits that we carry, house our soul. But at the end of the day, we're all energy and we can affect each other in this oneness. We're responsible for shifting and changing our dynamics so that we can make that positive shift in our world. And then we accept the positive. We kind of create more of what we're already creating as we connect into this oneness, as we accept the beauty that is around us, as we continue to be in gratitude, especially in our relationships. We create an environment of where everything is connected and everything is in this beautiful ecosystem, this beautiful space of creating health and vitality and thrivingness. I don't know, it's not a word. So I remember living in South America. I remember living in Venezuela, and we would drive through the rainforest. We'd go from our house. We were by the coast, and sometimes we would go to Caracas, the capital. And you would have to drive through. The highway was not really a highway; it was one lane in each direction, and speed limits were more of a suggestion than anything real. So we're driving along, and everything is beautiful and lush. And as I took geography classes in college, it was just, we studied the Amazon rainforest, and it was fascinating. All ecosystems are dependent on everything. Everything in the system depends on everything else. You remove one type of worm, you remove one type of plant, there is this balance that everything is interconnected. In the Amazon rainforest, they use slash and burn agriculture. So, they think the soil is lush because it grows all these beautiful plants and these trees. But the moment you cut the tree, you lose the nutrients to what made the soil vital. And so the moment we cut ourselves off, the moment that we disconnect from ourselves, the moment that we disconnect from who we are, we stop thriving. We sometimes maybe don't even completely survive. All ecosystems, nature repeats itself. The earth is alive, and she sustains life through systems. She doesn't second guess herself. She doesn't sit there and go, well, I'm not sure if that tree's all that pretty. I'm not sure if the ocean's all that nice. Do I ocean well? Am I oceaning well? I'm not sure. What are the other planets doing? What are they saying? Maybe I'm not as fiery as Mercury. I'm not as good as Mercury. Mercury is always being so active. The Earth doesn't do that. She doesn't second guess herself in any way. And so it's important for us to really and truly embrace who we are, because we could be that butterfly, that special butterfly in this ecosystem of this rainforest that supplies what we need to supply. Maybe we are that bee that moves in a certain way, that pollinates other plants. We are all interconnected. We are all interrelated. We need to be who we truly are in this world. We need to bring our gifts. And I hate using the word need, but there it goes again. We bring our gifts into the space that we're in. We are who we are, and trying to be any different doesn't serve anyone. Let other people do other things. Just like a bumblebee cannot be a butterfly, and a tree cannot be a flower. It doesn't have to be, because the flower can do her or his thing just fine. So embrace your uniqueness. Allow your soul to be your guide. Connect with others, accept the gifts, and let us relate in beauty and love. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.
Thank you, Yuli. As always, just the right thing, just what we need to hear, and it's wonderful to have you here at the Amani Center. And now it is time for our joyful time of giving. And so during the Great Pause, we have continued to function as a center. We've continued to bring our live stream every single week and continue to pay our lease payment and all of our utilities. And so we're so grateful to all of you who have reached out to support the Amani Center so that we can continue to do the good work that we're doing. And so I just want to take a minute and show you some of the ways that you can give virtually from wherever you are. We have a text to give. You can text the word Amani to the number 44321. We have our donate buttons on our newsletter and all of our email blasts. You can go to our website, theamanicenter.org, and use the donate button there. You can use your bank app, set up recurring or one-time payments that will come to us in the mail, or you can just physically write out and mail a check to us at the Amani Center, 2558 Greenwood Lane, Suite D in Cameron Park, California, 95682. However and whatever you are able to give to us, we are just so grateful. There's also a link that's going in the comments right now. You can use that as well to donate. And we thank you for whatever you give. We cannot do it without you. And so thank you, Amani. And now I'm going to have our practitioner of the day, Angie Gann, do a spiritual mind treatment for our joyful time of giving.
And now we'll do the joyous time of giving. And I ask you to just simply allow your eyes to close as we go within, remembering that God is the source and supply of all that is. He is ever present, ever need. He knows your needs before you even have them. The answer is already provided to you before the question arises. And so we know that the feeling of being in grace and being in gratitude is what keeps us in flow with divinity. And if we ever find that we have a need in any area, all we need to do is simply turn within and expand into that feeling of gratitude, and to explore all areas of our lives and to celebrate all of the blessings that we already have in every area, in wealth, in health, in friendships, in relationships, in connections with our spouses and our family and friends and community. And we are so grateful to know that we have all of that already available to us. And so we simply celebrate those things, knowing that from our celebration, more will come, and it will expand and increase to your ability and your level of consciousness to receive and accept all that is already there for you. And so today we accept this for the center. We see the donations coming in with love and grace from all of our fellowship. We are so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you, and we know that it is with your help and your assistance that the center continues to grow forward and onward, continuing to serve and expand into all the wonderful ways that is ours to do. And so it is with a grateful heart that we thank you all. And I release my prayer into the immutable law that only says yes, as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Angie. And now we have another song for the wonderful Gary Lynn Floyd.
My good friend Karen Drucker wrote this next song. I think it's the greatest expression of gratitude around. Gratitude before me, singing. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. Sing. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Feel it. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And we're so grateful. 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 I love you.
Thank you, Gary. Such a great pleasure and joy to have you with us. I look forward to a day when you have us here in the center together and we get to enjoy your beautiful music. So now it is time for our closing song. So if you will all stand wherever you are in your homes, on your patios, and let us sing The Presence is Here together.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
So once again, thank you so much, Amani, for being with us today. I would like to thank our speaker, Yuli Rodriguez, and our special guest musician, Gary Lynn Floyd, and all of you for tuning in and being a part of this center. Take today's message, take whatever spoke to you, bring it out into the world, and share that high vibration, and that's how we change the world.